On top of the CN Tower here in Toronto, there's a small platform outdoors that you can actually use to walk around on. And that experience is called the EdgeWalk. And as part of my New Year resolutions to go and face my fears head on, in this case, my fear of heights, I decided to sign up myself for this experience and see what it's actually all about. But when I'm done with it, I'm actually taking a quick flight to New York City, where I'm going to do the exact same thing. Of course, they don't have the CN Tower over there. Instead, they have a new building called 30 Hudson Yards. And on top of that building, they have a new observation deck called The Edge. And as part of The Edge, they just recently opened a new experience called the City Climb. And the idea is sort of similar to what we have here on top of the CN Tower. So in this video, I'm going to compare both of those experiences together and see which one is more fun and actually worth your money. So without further ado, let's go for it. Just signed my waiver, and the thing is, I'm not actually sure what I signed exactly, and that's kind of my problem. I never read any waivers, but my experience starts in about 20 minutes. Until then, I have free time. What's interesting, and I think I'm going to call it a bit of a blessing in disguise, is that EdgeWalk usually comes with about 8 people. So 6 or 8 people do it at the same time. But the thing is, at that time slot at 3:30 p.m., I'm the only one. So a bit of a VIP experience, and I'm going to try and embrace it. And this is where I have to wait for my instructor. They call this the ground school. And then I think we're gonna go and wear my harness, but definitely starting to get nervous. My mouth is dry and my palms are starting to get sweaty.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. 3:30 EdgeWalk, right?
Yes.
Awesome. What's your name, sir?
Andreas.
Andreas, nice
Yes.
to meet you. Perfect.
Same.
My name's Darius. I'm one of your grounds crew members. I'm gonna get you like suited up, harnessed
Sure.
up. Promise to take good care of you down here, okay? Once you're upstairs, you know, you're their problem.
Okay, got it.
Before we begin, the entire experience is an hour and a half.
Okay.
So starting from when we harness you up to when we de-harness you, do you have to use the washroom at all before?
No,
you start?
just did.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
'Cause you just won't have access to
Yeah,
it during that time.
makes sense.
If you have to go, it'll be on camera. So.
Yeah.
Awesome. You ready to start?
Yes.
Sweet. Follow
Sir,
me this way.
do you mind if I just quickly film whatever for my YouTube channel?
So you can film out here. Once
Yeah.
we enter the room, you'd have to stop filming though, unfortunately.
Makes sense.
No worries. Okay.
Oh, here?
This way, no problem. Gracias.
All right, see you on top.
Welcome to EdgeWalk officially! Thank you. So right now we are standing 356 meters above the ground. That's about 160 miles up. We're gonna start right here with our first activity. Alright. So now, the first one I have for you is called the Toes Over Toronto. Okay. I want you to watch me, and then you're gonna give it a go. So, all you have to do, it's pretty self-explanatory, but just go closer to the edge until you have all 5 and then 10 toes out. Once you're there, do not try to lean forward, please. Just stand straight, nice and tall, but at this point, you can let it go. Oh, nice. And you can say whatever you want. What's up, Toronto? It doesn't matter, no one but us can hear it, so just speak your mind, alright? Andreas, ready to try? Yes. Go for it, let's go. I'm looking at your feet, I'll tell you stop, and Perfect. And now extend your legs straight. Yes, that's it, Elias. And then we'll stop for you for a brief moment. Look at that.
Holy moly!
Woo! Looking amazing. How do you feel?
One of the best things I've ever done in my life.
Stop.
Yeah.
Oh my
incredible.
god. I love that the light is just out for you
Yeah.
also. Looking incredible.
The golden hour.
No, literally. It's only 4 p.m., but you know, details.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna continue right here with our next activity.
Okay.
So, after doing tours over Toronto, then we were leaning back. I think it's only time for now to just lean forward.
Okay.
So, same as before, let me show you first, then you're gonna give it a try. What I want you to do is position yourself right here, your toes right at the second line. So you're not gonna have your toes over or far back. Right here is perfect. Then grab your rope, and all you have to do is push it forward as far as it can go. And then I don't have any other advice. You just gotta do it and go for it. Lean all the way forward until the rope is touching your shoulder. But at this point, you can let it go. You can be a little bird floating in the sky. Look at the harbor front when they have some firecrackers in the summer. And you can also look at downtown Toronto. If you want an extra little challenge, go on your tippy toes.
All right.
I dare you. All right. Andreas, you ready?
Ready.
Go for it.
Okay. So, second line.
Yes. And now. Now push it. Rope.
Hard to go.
Yes. And now also link your whole body weight onto the rope. Yes, yes, exactly. Keep going and then you're going to feel it stop. Yes. Nice. Look at you. Beautiful. Try going on your tippy toes. Yes, all the way up. I know you can, Andreas. Now stay right here. I'm just going to go behind you. Don't move. Take it all in. Try taking a look down if you haven't done it yet.
Wow.
How are you feeling now?
Great.
You definitely look great. I don't know if you sound great. Good job. You can come back. I'm done torturing you for now. Good job, Andreas.
Wow. This one was a bit more exhilarating
Okay,
than
good.
the back one.
Good. Amazing.
And while I'm fresh out of that EdgeWalk experience, I wanted to tell you all about it, and I'm actually sitting at this main observation level here. These are actually half windows. There's actually openings out there, that's why it's freezing, though it's much quieter. The EdgeWalk was probably one of the best experiences of my life, and this comes from a person who actually skydived before. I think what's different about this experience is that there's no speed. In a way, it's just you and the height, and nothing else. Well, harnesses, of course. My guide, Betty, was absolutely incredible, and it did feel very VIP-ish because it was just me. There was nobody else, so I did get some extra pictures. And we spent close to like 30 minutes on that outdoor walk. All of the activities were exhilarating. I did find that leaning back was much more comfortable for me than going forwards. So yeah, I don't know why. Like going forwards was much more scary, but it was, again, one of the best experiences of my life. Definitely worth it, and definitely one of those things you have to do once in your life. But now, I think I'm gonna go up to the top of the tower. I think it used to be called a skypod. And then I'm gonna fly to New York City, where I'm gonna do the city climb on top of 30 Hudson Yards and see how that experience compares to the EdgeWalk over here. And I made it all the way up to the top. CN Tower's secondary observation deck, which is actually the highest observation deck in the Western Hemisphere. You can see the EdgeWalk over there, so I was here not so long ago, and then different lights that the tower uses. But definitely you get incredible views of the whole city from here. But what's weird though, is that when you get up here, you can feel the whole tower is moving left and right. Today is quite windy, and they have this pendulum that's showing that it's not you who's moving, it's actually the tower. And the feeling is a little bit uneasy, though trying to remember that the structure is super safe. Now, there is an additional cost to get up to the top if you're not doing the EdgeWalk, but I think honestly it's one of those once-in-a-lifetime type of things. The only thing is that you'll have to wait for elevators quite a bit to get up to the top because there's only one elevator and it takes, I think, only 8 people up and down. So something to keep in mind. And finally, don't forget to try these glass floors that I think they kind of give you a glimpse into the EdgeWalk experience. So with that, it's time to go to New York. And while I'm on my way to New York, I'm actually flying with Porter Airlines today, and I made a video about Porter, so feel free to scan this QR code or click out on the pop-out banner. I'm actually flying with my wife today.
Annoying wife is back.
She's not gonna do the city climb with me. She's just gonna, walk around the city.
I'm gonna be Serena Wonder Boots.
Wow. From Gossip Girl?
Good job.
I know. But in the meantime, actually I wanted to do something a little bit different this time. And I have this Google Home Mini with me. And I'm gonna do a small giveaway. So everything you have to do is 1, subscribe, and 2, comment what experience you like the most. The Toronto one or the New York one. So subscribe, comment, and one of the commenters will be chosen randomly. But you gotta act fast because the contest closes March 31st, 2025.
Good luck.
And after a very quick flight, I believe it was just a bit more than an hour, my wife and I, we arrived to New York City, and she's actually doing her thing today. I'm doing my thing, which is the city climb. But I think it's our 3rd time being in New York City, and I'm absolutely amazed at how gigantic this city is. There's so much history, so many people, so many things happening around, so much architecture. I kind of got this feeling today, God, I love this city. Anyways, I'm actually right now approaching 30 Hudson Yards, which is where the experience is going to be. I'm a little bit early because in an email they did say I have to be here about an hour before. So I'm gonna now try to figure out how to actually get there. But in the meantime, look what I found. This structure is called The Vessel, which honestly looks really cool. I got in and I actually had no idea that there's a whole mall in here, actually multiple levels, and afterwards maybe, I can shop for some Zara or some Louis Vuitton, but maybe next time. But while I'm trying to figure out how to actually get to the edge, I see some signs pointing that I need to get up to level 4. Let me tell you a little bit about 30 Hudson Yards itself. So the building opened back in 2019 and it houses a few companies. I think there's like Facebook, Warner Brothers, Discovery Channel. And the edge itself, the observation deck, opened back in 2020, in March of 2020. And we all know what happened back then. They were actually open just for 4 days before they had to shut down due to pandemic. Now, City Climb, it opened in 2021, and did you know that it's actually the highest external building climb in the entire world? It's actually higher than the one on top of the CN Tower, which is honestly kind of crazy to think about. And I found the hub of the edge here. There's actually a few kiosks where you can buy tickets, but I asked one of the representatives, I'm like, I'm doing City Climb today, what do I do? And they're like, be back here at 2:20 p.m., which is in about 40 minutes, and then they're gonna grab me, and then we're gonna go on top together. So I have a little bit of time to spare. But did you know that on top of the edge, there's actually a lot of big performances that happened before? And the one that is the most memorable, I think, is the one of the weekends with fireworks in the background, with helicopters, and one of the best things I've ever seen in my life. Honestly, it's been absolutely mind-blowing. But yeah, for now, I just gotta wait for a little bit.
of us, Empire State Building in Madison Square Garden. To the right of you, you're going to see the tallest building in New York City. That is One World Trade Center over here. Right behind me is Uptown Manhattan. You're going to start seeing Central Park. Best views of it, you can see like right above. If your ears are popping, that means the elevator's working. You just swallow like you're drinking some water.
Yeah.
You are currently on the 6th tallest building in New York City. Have fun.
Thank you. So I got this memory pass, and now I gotta throw everything inside of the locker, so I cannot film, I think, beyond this point, but I'm still getting a video and everything, so we'll see what happens. But so far, amazing, amazing experience. Subscribe! Coming back after my city climb now with a platinum medal, so just gotta take off my suit, and yeah, I think then gonna enjoy the edge. So just wanted to shout out Vanessa, you've been absolutely amazing, thank you so much. And I recommend everybody, whoever, I don't know how many people are gonna be watching this, but everybody should do it and conquer your fears.
Come climb with me.
Yeah, thank you, Vanessa.
Of course, Andreas.
And now with this gorgeous view of the Billionaires Row, as well as a little bit of the Central Park, I just wanted to tell you all about my city climb experience here in New York, as well as, you know, conclude this whole video. Now, I was the only one. There were 6 slots available at that date and time, and out of 6 slots, I was the only one. So again, just like in Canada, it felt like I was a VIP and I got, you know, some special and a little bit of an extra treatment. So I think this was definitely also my highlight. Now, I think the biggest difference between the EdgeWalk in Toronto and City Climb here is actually the stairs. I know from all of those pictures and videos, probably stairs do not look that fun, but actually when you go up there and you look up, they look endless. And you gotta climb and climb and climb and climb. And we had to take a couple of breaks, so it was a bit of a cardio workout. In terms of activities, we did literally the exact same activities as we did back on top of the CN Tower. So we had to lean back and then we had to lean forwards. And of course, the views were amazing. Helicopters were flying below us. So yeah, absolutely stunning. Now let me compare both the EdgeWalk and City Climb in terms of their price, adrenaline factor, memorability, which one I want to do again, as well as kind of my overall conclusion and my advice to you. So in terms of price, for my EdgeWalk experience, I paid $224.87 Canadian. And for my New York experience, I paid $345.56 Canadian. So New York City in general is just a more expensive city, so you gotta pay more. But both of those amounts actually include access to observation decks, kind of unlimited until they close. So in Toronto, I had access to the secondary observation deck on top, as well as the main one, pretty much until it closed. And here in New York City, I get access also to 2 floors of the observation deck. There's, bars here. There's actually curling, which is a little bit odd. The edge itself, glass floor, and also I opted for a photo and video package for both experiences. But still, the point of price goes to CN Tower. So I think it was just a bit more affordable. In terms of the adrenaline factor, this point I think also goes to the CN Tower, simply because of the way that it was designed. When you go up on top and when you do your exercises, especially when you want to lean forwards, you look down and there's nothing that obstructs your view, so you look straight down. But here in New York, you actually look on top of the observation deck, so it's a little bit less scary. And then you can shout at people and, kind of wave at them. But I felt just a bit more, I would say, exhilarated and a little bit more scared on top of the CN Tower in Toronto. So I think in terms of adrenaline, it goes to the EdgeWalk. Now let's talk about memorability. This point, without a doubt, goes to NYC, simply because of these gorgeous views. When you go up there and you see the entirety of Manhattan, I loved it. I wanted to actually spend much more time there, just, looking at all of the things and buildings and planes and helicopters. Honestly, memorability point goes to NYC. And which one I want to do again? I think this point also goes to NYC. I don't know, maybe because I live in Toronto and, I'm kind of used to seeing Toronto on a daily basis. But I think, again, in terms of size, NYC is just so much bigger. There's just so many more things to look at that I want to do it again, but with a caveat. I want to do it maybe in June or July or August, when it's actually warm, rather than wearing gloves and hats. I don't want to do it again in winter months, so my advice to you is do it when it's warm. So finally, my overall conclusion and kind of my advice is, if you had to choose between these 2 experiences, and if you had a little bit more cash to spare, go and do the one in New York. I think you're gonna love it. Again, it's a little bit less scary because, I don't know, I found it to be a little bit less scary. I think simply because, again, the way that the whole experience was built. But if you live in Canada, if you live in Toronto and you're like, oh, I don't want to go to New York, go ahead and do the EdgeWalk, because again, it's also super fun and something that you have to do at least once in your life. So with that being said, don't forget to subscribe. Let me know in the comments which experience you actually preferred more, the EdgeWalk or the city climb. And if you do that by March 31st, 2025, you will be automatically entered in a Google Home Mini giveaway. So, maybe you'll be a lucky winner. And I'll reach out to this lucky winner in the comment section. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.